I changed the topic of my talk a little bit. It's called Work on Your Ideas. So we have a lot of people in the room here who had an idea and start to develop something. It can become an own business later. It may become an open project, an open source project. It might become a podcast, whatever. You need just to think about an idea and start working on it to see what's going on. So that's the original talk of my call, The Future of Combined Wi-Fi and 5G for Scalable survey. Quite long. What is it about? So 2 years ago, I was here presenting some VR stuff. We had an application that shows Wi-Fi cellular data. You can go with it in VR, select some stuff, and do some funny things with it. So an idea was born. We talked more and more about it and tried to find a way how to deal with it. So you need to develop your idea. What was our idea in the beginning? We had an application, we had a VR stuff. So let's get it working and see what's going on. I think Drew yesterday showed a sample of what we did for him with a hotel sample. We created a sample for Azultex. So talk with a guy of Azultex if you want. If you have an Oculus Rift, they can give you access to this application you can play in your home. It's about understanding Wi-Fi, right? You can see how is the Wi-Fi, how is the signal, and depending on you have a barcode scanner, you get fast feedback if you're close to. If you are less close to, you get longer time until you get your feedback. So it's to get people an understanding of how is Wi-Fi looking and how to deal with it. But what I'm mostly doing is I'm doing a lot of site surveys, right? Traveling around the world, doing site survey everywhere. That's most time of my job, but it doesn't scale. I need to travel a lot. Sometimes we work with local partners, some working good, others working not that good. So it's sometimes a big pain. So my idea was about, okay, let's talk about site survey, how to scale it. We have a lot of branch offices we design. Who of you is validating a branch office? I'm located in Germany, so I did a design in Japan, South America, wherever. It's like 10, 15 APs. No one will ever design it or validate it until people come and complain about it. There's a lot of AI. I guess it will work quite good on branch offices, for example. You have a lower ceiling, your APs seeing each other good, the walls everywhere. But what about warehouses? You have your IPs under the ceiling. It's like 10, 50 meters high. They see each other under the ceiling, but you're on the floor. So, and there is more to be coming. We have Wi-Fi. We talk a lot about Wi-Fi. We have here some stuff about Halo stuff, 5G, private 5G, CBRS in the US. So there's a lot more wireless technologies. And that's the idea we had behind it. So I'm working together with the NQTs. They have a product called Nets Tester too. It's a network tester that is capable of cellular 2, 3, 4, 5G, and it can do Wi-Fi. But it was not really integrated. So we have this type of device that can measure everything what is Wi-Fi cellular and try to develop some type of survey with it. Good part is it's a standalone device. So I don't know what the click is not working. It can have 6 GHz Wi-Fi for sure, and it doesn't need a cable because it's built as a standalone device. So you can easily just use it, have your phone in the other hand. So we developed the idea, and now we need to go to the next step. It's about testing the idea, right? So if you have an idea, develop it, try to test it, try to implement it, see how it works. So we have developed an application for an iPhone that do site survey. Quite easy. For testing it, I selected a changing environment. So what is the most changing environment? Most people saying it's like a warehouse, office maybe. But for me, or in Europe, and I think in the US maybe also, it's IKEA, right? Every time I go there, it changed. Really, it changed. The layout, everything changed. So I walked last year prior to WLPC in Prague to an IKEA store and just did a survey. How does it look? I created a short video. You see me using the iPhone. I'm doing a lot of moves because we use the LiDAR stuff. Why? You will see it in a minute. Do you need to move that way? Not really. As more we move, as more data we are collecting. But you can easily hold your hand just down and just walk. So what is the LiDAR seeing? If you just walk, it sees what is up front of you. If you're moving a little bit, it also sees more information. So now let's explore the idea. We're using a web interface. Why does we use a web interface and not the application? The goal is about scaling. I want to have untrained engineers who should do something for me because I don't want to travel to all that small locations where we can't do a survey right now. So if I give an untrained person an application that shows something red and green, he's doing so like, oh, see, I saw the problem, I found it. But does he know is it a problem or not? So I don't know. The application shows you like nothing. The web interface shows you a floor plan. So how does a floor plan look like in that case? It's based on the LiDAR. So we got a 3D floor plan, what it means you can move through the floor plan, can see everything. What we are seeing here, for example, in the warehouse, or it's the bottom floor of any care store like a warehouse, you can see where the shelves are empty. You can also see where the shelves are full. So you can see a lot more information of your location, even you was not there, right? And that's for me the difference. If I'm doing a LiDAR survey, I can try to understand the location, what's going on. We can add Wi-Fi data for sure, so we are collecting Wi-Fi data that we can see how is our Wi-Fi on which part of the location to get like what we are doing every day mostly, or for me. That one is a sample to quick show the difference. That is based on the LiDAR stuff from my hotel room. So a very small location, you can see a window at the end, you can see the door. Because it's a small room, it doesn't look that nice sometimes with the LiDAR stuff. So you can also go it the other way around and just create a floor plan if you want to. So you still see the same windows that you have at the end of the room. You can see the doors and the walls. So two types of visualization. For sure, it's also possible to do the classical 2D heat map stuff. That's Wi-Fi data. As said, this device also includes cellular stuff. So I don't know how many private 5G campus installation you're having, how many CBRS, how public is it, or how famous. We got a lot requests also for private 5G, but also for public cellular. So if you're validating this hotel, for example, is it interesting for the hotel to understand how is my 5G coverage for my guest? Yes, I want to have Wi-Fi, but a lot of them also want to have 5G. You're a company, you want to understand, I have a contract with my company with telecom, how is my telecom in-house? So you can do all of this with one device with a single walk. That's the result of some other small tests we did in our office. It's the same way, it just shows your cellular data. Now, last part, let's talk about scaling. So object size, it's sometimes a question, how big can be an object? I just walked IKEA on both floors. You saw the ground floor where you have the warehouse parts. This is the upper floor. On some parts, I walked a little bit more. On other parts, I just passed by the main way. So it works on a full IKEA store, let's say European size, not sure if they're larger in the US. And then we have something else, talk about scaling, it's hardware. So what is interesting or different in cellular stuff, you need to have an active connection. So if you're walking and you have, I don't know, AT&T, Verizon, Telecom, and who else, your device needs to have like an active connection. What it means, you can test one carrier with one technology. But you can easily stack devices that you say, okay, first device does Telecom 4G, second Telecom 5G, Verizon 4G, 5G, AT&T 4G, 5G. So you can stack like 6 devices or more to get all of your information within one walk. And then there's the second part, we're talking about scaling. I think that device is roughly below 2K, so it's not expensive, but to have it everywhere is maybe a little bit too expensive. So we have something much smaller that just does Wi-Fi only, and it just costs a couple of $100. So it's quite easy to have it somewhere and let someone walk. So whatever your idea is, try to think about it, try to work on your idea, make a progress and see how it works. If you have interest in my idea, that QR code will open your email address. You can drop me an email, take a snapshot, or I will be here until tomorrow. Feel free to come and see and test the application. So, thank you for your time.